Hello, everyone. Welcome to Nexus Heroic Division match between WildHeart Zeta and Bread is greater than Ducks. Is that how we say that name?
I don't know, man. I don't know. There was a team like I just like Breadman. There was one. That was a team. I think there was a team called Flying Ducks at some or Playing Ducks. I can't remember. But great bread better than greater than
Greater
Ducks.
than
I don't know.
Ducks, yeah. A lot of
I
familiar
guess.
faces in this lobby tonight, though. Of course, we have WildHeart Zeta. You guys might have recognized them from previous seasons of NGS. They were
Ah,
under the name Bronze 6. They've been around a while. This season, WildHeart recruited them. Looks like they have a sub tonight, or is
uh,
Slug
th-
permanently in the 5-man?
no. He is subbing. One of their players got
Okay.
stuck, so I was catching the group chat. The group chat. They're like, "Hey, we need a sub since so and so's stuck at an appointment somewhere." Um, but I think there's a sub or two on the side of Bread Ducks today as well.
Actually, everybody on their team's technically on the roster, but I don't know if they're just the regular roster or not. They have like I want to say 6 or 7 people listed on their roster on the website. So
Got it. Got
yeah,
it. I
I don't know
think.
who's gonna be their regular 5 go
Ah,
to, but
right. Brown Balla is the sub. He's the
mhm.
sub today. So
Yeah, I
nice.
was scouting the list of players on their team. Like I knew who was on WildHeart Zeta, but I wasn't sure who was on Bread is Greater Than Ducks. And I was like, oh, I know a lot of these people. Mundane Zebra, we've seen him playing in a ton of different HRCS. Pretty much anything that he can get involved in, he plays in. El Reina, she's frequently coming to WildHeart events. She's frequently participating in Girls Gang Squad. She's frequently hyping me up in chat too, so I'm kind of excited that it's not just the WildHeart team we're casting tonight, but so many familiar faces on the side of Bread is Greater Than Ducks. You know, obviously Brown Balla on the WildHeart stream team and previous iterations of our academy teams as well. So this is nice. It's like a little reunion in here.
Yeah, my old roommate. Yep.
Why don't we quickly go over those map selections? We got all the players in the lobby finally. Coin toss was won by WildHeart Zeta, and they're opting for map pick. The map bans for this series: Cursed Hollow and Alterac Pass banned out by WildHeart Zeta. Bread greater than Ducks taking away Sky Temple and Volskaya, and we're kicking things off on Braxis. I kind
Praxis
of love
holdout.
it.
Yeah, I mean this is the first time we're seeing this map in anything in a long time. In a that isn't Storm League, anyways. In a really long time. Some refreshing things hopefully are going to happen here. Some good
hmm
fun as well. And yeah, Brax's Holdout, for those of you that may not remember, is a 2-lane map where both teams need to essentially vie for control over the points. Once you get both points channeled, you start channeling the Zerg wave. Once you get to 100%, the first one to get to 100% unleashes the Zerg wave. Other opponent gets a small little, boost as well, gets some help as well. But yeah, it's an interesting map where you're constantly struggling to control the points, force your opponents off, push the lanes into their towers, rotate, look for picks, yada yada. It's a interesting map for sure.
Now, if Bread is greater than Ducks has done their research on WildHeart Zeta, they would know that WildHeart Zeta plays one particular hero that shines on Brax's holdout. Great at rotations, great at sniping those bosses down real quick. We'll see if that comes out in the ban phase here. Chat maybe knows who I'm talking about, maybe you don't. I don't know.
There's a high likelihood that Bread Ducks might be looking at the same hero, considering there is a Naive ban right now. Uh, Knowing that Zeta's prioritized that hero, well, knowing that they like that hero, and that hero prioritization kind of goes up a little bit because of this map,
Yeah.
it might be something that they might ban out. Oh, okay, no, they don't ban it out. I wonder if it'll be the first pick. It's not.
No, but it
But
is something that kind of helps counter what we're talking about. And of
yeah,
course,
there it is.
what we're talking about is Genji. I didn't want to spoil it. I don't know how far behind our it is delayed, but not so delayed that if you caught the beginning of draft chat, you'd know that I was talking about
Yeah.
Genji. They're pairing that with the Muradin. Slug playing DPS today. Is that the plan?
Slug is for fun gamer. I think he's
Here-
only going to be subbing for one game
Okay.
before he gets back.
Kira was who we saw on the Genji previously casting WildHeart Zeta, though, I believe, right?
If I'm not mistaken, correct.
So we could be seeing some swaps around because Kira was looking pretty comfortable on Genji. We'll see how it plays out, though. Maybe Slug said, yeah, I'll sub for you, but only if I get to play the Genji.
He might have just picked it, yeah, just to pick it. We'll see.
We got the Brightwing, Rexar, and Sylvanas over on the side of Bred Ducks. What do you think so far of this draft, Goon?
Pretty nice, pretty flexible draft. The Rexar on the top lane of Brax's holdout can be pretty strong. We've already seen the hero like Hogger be removed, a hero that can essentially become unstoppable through the Misha stuns, can bully Misha and Rexar as well, and also kind of creates a lot of pressure, or can create a lot more pressure with the Genji being up on the map. Rexar being there by himself now against the Leoric more than likely is going to be okay. Going to have strong vision control, strong sustain. The Genji's going to have to be playing on point to really make sure that this hero doesn't find the effectiveness that it wants to. Brightwing is up on the map, can phase shift around, can save the Rexar, can, like we said, counter polymorph the Genji, be a very annoying. And, yeah. Ooh, the Chromie. That's an old staple on this map. The brown ball of Chromie, okay.
Pair that with the Anubarak as well. Yeah, I like Chromie. She has pretty decent point control for the shrines that you have to cap. She can just dump all kinds of damage on there and make people have to back off of it so you can take it back. But she also has generally been picked because her Dragon's Breath can do some pretty decent damage to Zerg waves as well.
Yeah. Once she gets situated, once Chromie gets situated, she's very hard to kind of get to. There's a Muradin.
I was just gonna say she's also really annoying to siege into here, well, anywhere. But here because you want to get as much value out of those Zerg waves that you're looking to lock in.
Yeah, she can drop a slowing stance on the Zerg wave, and then like you're just like, oh, this is awful. But we see the fall stack coming out here as the last pick. What do you think about that?
You know, I'm not overly convinced here. Well, maybe WildHeart Zeta is thinking that they're not going to need any clear for this Zerg wave because they're going to win them all. But keep in mind, you still have that just like default, what is it, like 18% Zerg wave that you get even if you don't channel any of the objective. Yeah, like looking at what they have here, you're relying on a fall stat to clear out these waves. Maybe Leoric. It's not too strong. Chromie and Sylvanas are going to make short work of any Zerg waves that they have to clear up. Meanwhile, WildHeart Zeta is super lacking. But I hope for what they're lacking in wave clear, they make up for in strategy. This is a map that they did pick. Genji can get some nice rotations, and if they can kind of get ahead and get these early Zerg waves, usually this map tends to snowball. So we'll see.
I mean, it's a global. It's a global on this map, and you've already got these massive rotation potential coming out with the Muradin, with the Lucio, with the Genji. That top lane could be in a lot of trouble. Not only that, but there's some excellent boss control on the side of the WildHeart Zetas. You've got the Gust, you've got the Deflect from the Genji. That's gonna burn. Yeah, like it's pretty good. We'll see. We'll see. There's a Cocoon on the other side. I hate Bug Hero.
Yeah, there's a couple decent things on the other side that are definitely annoying. The Cocoon, like you said, to shut down Genji, the Polymorphs to shut down Genji, and just the fact that they're gonna have a little bit better wave clear, camp clear overall.
Yeah. True. Level 1's coming out here. Nothing too crazy. Time Walker's Pursuit coming out from Canny on the Chromie. We saw Brown Ball and Canny swap out heroes here. Ooh, this is a party mix, Lucio. Okay. Is that wave clear we're talking about?
Going in for the engage onto Slug here. Not quite the damage they were hoping for to follow up on that. Instead of Nubrak is getting turned on. We have the phase shift coming through from Ellie. That is going to connect. And a Nubrak surviving just fine. Danny actually eating a ton of damage here, but he is Muradin. So he gets that second win procced, and he's back to health in no time.
This is block. This is the dwarf block coming out from Muradin. You see Slug Hunter eating a bunch of damage there. Yeah, if it was a third win, maybe, you know, it's okay to take that much damage. But Farrah does need to be careful. That time trap. This is what I'm talking about Chromie on this map. If she has an opportunity to set up there on that bot side, especially with the time trap, it's going to be really, really frustrating to see. So we see the potential siege camp timing here might be coming out from the side of WildHeart Zeta, looking to prep that early. Hopefully put some pressure on to the Bread Ducks. That way they can start the channel. Because right now, Rexar and Misha doing a pretty good job controlling that top side.
I was expecting to see a little bit more rotation out of Genji. I know we're only a couple minutes into the game, but once these points are up and you need to control them, it's really, really hard to win that matchup in the top lane. You have a hero that can soak the lane and hold down the point at the same time, and you can only choose one or the other. So I usually end up behind if you can't find something up there. We do see Genji rotating up now. They're looking to pick on Misha a little bit. There's the stun out. Kira going with the deflect, but not quite enough damage to secure the kill onto Misha. Kira's going to try and take that point for the time being. We're going to see bottom continuing to be held by Bread greater than Ducks.
The tug of war that is Brax's holdout. No Dragon's Breath available. They got used to siege up, so the follow-up wasn't available to kill Slug Hunter. So he's very lucky that's the case. There's the Time Walker's Pursuit catching Genji on that rotation. Actually, Danny looking on the backside, looking to kind of create a little pressure just existing there. Should be able to dwarf toss away. Nice polymorph actually coming out from Elvena to try to catch the dwarf toss from happening. But yeah, this is pretty good for Bread Ducks.
This is my worry with Zeta's draft, is you're looking at the wave clear here, and you're only a couple minutes into the game, but you already have a whole wall down on bottom side. Ballsat just not quite enough. And then they're pumping the damage out here as well, forcing Slug and Danny to back off. There's the black arrows coming out from Sylvanas. Even more siege pressure here. And there's just nothing WildHeart Zeta can really do about it right now.
I would like to see them just use their glow. They got to put more pressure on that top side. They're not putting nearly enough pressure on the Rexar to really, like, give them any kind of stabilizing position or even advantage. Like there's nothing there.
Yeah,
so if you're able to fly up there, okay, get some channel, get some points here.
Absolutely, I totally agree with you, Goon. If you're gonna just lose that bottom lane and kind of sit back and watch them take it, you might as well try and at least go for a trade. Get that Rexar in top lane, maybe get some sieging done up there. Maybe you don't end up a fort for fort, but at least, you know, you're ending up a little bit better off than what you just did here.
And with the way Muradin is rotating through here, like, he can straight up just dwarf toss over terrain and onto points. He can actually exist on the other side of the map and just make that Rexar's life a living hell. If he can do that, you'll force the rotation from your opponents and free up this bottom side.
I think it's a little awkward right now that they have the healer tank up in top lane just to deal with the Rexar. You're not going to really have enough damage to do anything into him. Kira's rotated up now. They're going to get the pick onto Misha, but Ellie's come up to match them in the lane here. Bottom fort will go down, and Bread Ducks pulling ahead on structures.
Yep. Looking really good right now for Bread Ducks. Absolutely. That being said, the XP is pretty even.
Wow, that blow up onto Leo, the focus there. That's first blood. We are 5 minutes into the game and just seeing first blood now onto that Leoric.
Yeah.
Kira's going to take back bottom. It's just not a winning position here. Red Ducks have already ran down top or bottom fort. Now they're looking to do the same thing top. And WildHeart Zeta hasn't really come up with a solution on how to control the map in their favor quite yet. This is gonna leave.
They're gonna find that anytime soon until level 10s, but by that point the map is opened up. I will say though, once the map is opened up substantially for once the map is opened up, you have a bunch of mobility heroes here that can kind of be all over the place for sure. And it does become spooky, a little spooky for Bread Ducks to really just move about freely. You get picked with the Gust. Again, you can catch somebody in rotation with Murden. Danny, though, he doesn't be careful. He's just dying to the Siege Wave. The Zerg Wave.
Nubrak trying to come in on the flank there to see if he can lock anyone down, but not quite able to find what he was looking for. Zerg Wave will be pushing in onto the bottom keep wall of WildHeart Zeta.
Yeah, wave clear's pretty lackluster to say the least. I don't think Falstad Q is enough. That's gonna be a dead Murden. Ooh.
Oh
Yep.
yeah. Danny goes down. The siege continues. There's the cocoon out onto Falstad. They are on keep now with this Zerg wave. No wave clear with Falstad in that cocoon. There's a mind control to follow it up, and Bread Ducks are looking real good here. They're gonna take down this bottom keep. Level 10's online for them now, by the way. We got the boars on Rexar, Blink Heal from Brightwing. We saw the cocoon come out and the mind control used there. Slowing Sands picked up for Chromie.
Still a ways out here for Zetas to get their level 10s. They lose keeps, they lose all their forts. Now the map is up to the Bread Ducks to really like maintain control over. And this is what I will say, this is, I'm going to be very interested to see how they do that. I see a lot of teams when we do like in Stormly, or when we did see this map more often, they open up the map like this and then they kind of just don't do anything with it. We see Zebra coming out here to check out this camp. He does have the boards. The cocoon's going to be up here in just a second. Level 10's just now coming online. They're going to siege up with this. Now, we got the Gust. There's Entomb. Maybe the Zetas can find an opportunity to take a nice little fight here somewhere.
In the meantime, Bread Ducks are going to walk away with Zeta's Bruiser camp and a boss pushing in through top. Again, tons of siege pressure here from Bread Ducks. They've got that Sylvanas ready to shut down structures. They got that Chromie ready to sit back and just siege at a distance. This keep is in some real danger.
They're already taking so much damage here, actually. They got, ooh, nice little high five there. The Gus is used to be able to peel for Danny. However, not a lot of damage is being put out here. Like, yeah, not even Misha.
It was a good look. I mean, if you notice, the Entomb was down. The rest of the team got gusted it away, and a couple people stuck in the Entomb, but there just wasn't the damage to follow up on top of that Entomb. We're going to see Anubrak going in for the engage. Bit of damage put out onto Kira, and Danny need to be quite careful. They're getting incredibly low here. They're doing what he can to heal them up, but this keep managing to stay alive for the time being, but it's not going to take too much to finish it off, especially with a Sylv who can shut structures down, or a Chromie who can put that damage on from quite a range distance. Thirteen's coming online here soon for Bread Ducks. See if they try to force something with that talent tier advantage. What can you do when you're sitting as Zeta right now? Is there a way back into this game, or is this a GG go next situation, Goon?
It's never a GG go next situation specifically in hot, but you gotta find the picks. You gotta find it. You gotta find the picks here. Whether that's the Rexar, that's in a Nubrak somewhere who's venturing a little too far, or just a nice deep flank. You can't take any of these fights straight through. You can't, like, you gotta get creative with how you find your engages. That's the beauty of Braxis. The map is laid out in such a way that you can find those creative engages. You come all the way from behind. You can come over walls. You have those heroes. You have that kind of mobility. Just playing this out like a normal draft map is just not going to do anything for you.
Secret punish for that face check in the bush there. We'll lose the Lucio. Now we have the Cocoon. Or sorry, we'll lose the Leoric, and now we have the Cocoon onto Lucio. Barrett's able to high-five away to Kira. The Boars are chasing them down, though, but Bread Duck's not close enough to do anything with that. Meanwhile, in bottom, they've got some pressure building up there. We're going to see Slug clear that up. The rest of Bread Ducks, they want to finish off this keep. It's not going to take too much. As you can see, there's the Silk Trade, the Chromie damage coming through, and top keep will fall as well.
Yeah. So even Bread Ducks are playing this like they would a normal map, right? They're just lining up, anticipating Zeta to walk straight into them. Are they ever anticipating any kind of significant flank? We see, Brown Bala actually getting stunned out and unable to use the Haunting Wave. Nice Gus to separate him from the rest of his team. The mind control lands on the Ferret, but it's not going to matter. El Reina and Bala end up both going down. They're beautiful little engage there from the Zetas. That's what I was kind of talking about. That you catch somebody on the rotation and you find the alternative engage, whether that's going to be a Gust or whatever the case may be. But they can still look a little bit more creatively. I don't think they're exploring the back flanks, the Murid and Genji squeezing. You want to squeeze them, but that backline is what Chromie, Rexar, Sylvan. Those things die.
You gotta send them on over to watch Haven for a little bit. Watch him find those flings.
Yeah, precisely. A Nubrak is not enough peel to keep that backline alive. And if you're playing through chokes like that, it's just not going to work out.
This is still a very big wave here for Bread Ducks. And again, not a ton of wave clear on the side of WildHeart Zeta, so they're going to be taking quite a bit of time to finish this Zerg wave off. In the meantime, Bread Duck's actually clearing out the teeny bit of Zerg wave that WildHeart Zeta got and creating some pressure in bottom. They have control of the map right now, so they're just positioning and trying to see if they can find someone on the rotation, caught out, overextending in what is left of their structures, which is nothing.
Yeah.
Did you get them all? I don't mean any of this.
Even Talon's here, Boss is up, Siege Camp is up. What's it going to be here for the Zetas? Are they going to just sit here and just clear waves all game?
Secret again. He checked one bush, but walked into another and immediately gets deleted. We have Genji in the Cocoon. Uses the X-Ray immediately out of there. And Boars dropped by Rexar. Nice time trap, locking down Lucio and Muradin. Lucio's going to be CC'd by the Anubrak, and he will go down a 2-for-0 right now in favor of Bread Ducks, and 16's coming online for them at the same time. Boss is up and available. This is going to be a tough defense now for WildHeart Zeta. No keeps left for this boss. Boss clear isn't necessarily the worst, but with 5 other people coming in with it onto your core, it's definitely going to be a challenge. No Gust up and available right now for that boss control. There's the mind control coming out. Misha following up with a nice stun. We got the shield or the deflect on Genji, but it's not enough. WildHeart Zeta dropping like flies. They're going to lose all 4 of the members left up there. Lucio trying to clear the core, and this is looking like a Bread greater than Ducks game number 1.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Well played there. Well played there by them for sure. They didn't have the tools available for the boss because Zetas didn't have the tools available for the boss because they were trying to play off the pick. They're trying to save their ally from that pick. So then when they came down to the boss, they didn't have anything that they actually needed. So, yeah, kind of sucks. You know, I wish that they would. Well, they'll go back and they'll go over this for sure. But you got to get creative with those engages, and then definitely very, very substantial lack of wave clear. Feel pretty bad.
Let me go ahead and update that score really quickly here. Bread Ducks up 1-0 in the series. 2-10 in kills this match. So I was expecting to see the WildHeart Zeta, if they want to win this game, they have to go for those ganks onto Rexar. Send that Genji up there. Even use that fall stat if you need to, because you know the Brightwing's going to come in and help out. Get those kills in top, because you're not winning that bottom lane.
Yeah.
Take a peek here at the Talons. Goon, anything that's sticking out to you?
I think the third win actually would have been better here. I don't know what your dwarf, I don't know what you're blocking, what auto attacks here are pretty important. If your third win, you can take the Chromie poke. You can take any poke that you might get when you step onto the point. back up, heal up to a very substantial amount of health,
Mm-hmm.
and then continue to go back in. Because 60% of your max health, getting up to 60% of your max health is a pretty big deal.
Mm-hmm.
That's a big deal, especially on a map like this where your only sustain is Lucio. Um, I thought that would have been okay, and then yeah, I just trying to see what else we got here. I like the Sylvanas build. I think Sylvanas here was fine. Uh, but yeah, well, everything else looks pretty okay. I'm not too familiar with Chromie talents. I don't like that hero. I refuse to think about that hero.
All right, we'll pop back on over to Goon and I see some names I haven't seen for a little while in chat. Thanks for coming and hanging out tonight, guys. I appreciate it. This is a cool night for us because this is WildHeart Zeta's debut match in NGS under the WildHeart Zeta name. They've played a little bit in some events that WildHeart has been putting up leading up to NGS, but this is the first week of matches for NGS, so it's exciting to get to cast them and some of our friends that are over on the Bread Ducks team as well. We'll see where we're going here in a moment for game number 2. I just got the invite, so I can actually tell you right now that we are going to be headed to Tomb of the Spider Queen.
I've been messaging the CCL guys all day, just kind of checking in on them, seeing how they're doing. After this weekend, taking a few days, and like now they're all deciding to like message me right now. I'm like, I messaged you like 8 hours ago. What the hell? Just now.
This is gonna be a Tomb of the Spider Queen map pick from WildHeart Zeta once again. They're going with a map pick when given the option. They won that coin toss, took map pick first time around. They lost first game, and they're taking map pick again. Tomb of the Spider Queen. This is another map where wave clear, very important.
Yeah, absolutely. Hopefully they draft it. Hopefully they draft wave clear for sure this game. I think they will, considering how this objective works out. So, curious to see if there is any kind of Genji prioritization here again. I know teams around this level will just pick Genji to take it.
Mm-hmm.
So, just curious to see where that ends up.
Looks like we have Slug back in the lobby. So he'll be playing another game still. This is a best of 3 series, so if Bread Ducks can take this map, they'll close out the series in a quick 2-0.
Oh, these are best of 3s, right?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay,
just Storm Div is best of 5s. I know, I kind of feel like I want Heroic and like Nexus Div to be best of 5s as well.
Yeah.
Not to petition NGS.
Yeah.
Or maybe just Heroic, because that's like the div you prep for before getting into Storm.
Yeah, it's the big kids table.
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes it feels with best of 3s, you're like just getting into it and it's already over. Especially if you're going to play Braxis. We're just waiting on one last member. But if you're just tuning in and missed game number 1, it was played on Braxis Holdout. Bread Ducks taking the win there. We're going to be headed to Tomb of the Spider Queen for game 2. The map bans for this series: WildHeart Zeta taking away Cursed Hollow and Alterac Pass. Bread Ducks taking away Sky Temple and Volskaya Foundry. So we won't be seeing those if we do get to go to a game 3. Talked a little bit about that Genji priority that both teams might have here. Just because, at this level playing Genji, sure. But what else? Yeah, what else are you expecting to see? Looking at Bread Duck's draft from last game, there's a couple heroes you could just run it back again with.
Yeah. You got the Brywings, and you got Sylvanas potentially. Hell, even the Chromie.
Mm-hmm.
Like, those 3 heroes alone, are pretty. They aren't uncommon on this map.
Mm-hmm.
Waiting on one more. Who are we missing here? There he is. Dang. I'm actually a little disappointed that these are only best of 3s. That's kind of crazy to me.
Ruin the night.
No, I didn't ruin the night. I mean, I only started drinking a Monster right now, thinking this was going to be a best of 5 banger.
Goon thought he was in for the long haul and it's going to be over
I
before he
was
knows
ready.
it.
I was ready to go. Look, this is going to be an experience. We're going to have an experience tonight.
Maybe they're having some issues getting him to join the lobby, but hopefully we get that last player in soon and we'll jump into the draft right after that. On WildHeart Zeta, Goon, have you been kind of following their scrims and what's going on there? Can you tell chat a little bit more about them?
Yeah, WildHeart Zeta, like you said, like you've already mentioned before, they're Bronze 6. Good group of guys. It's actually kind of funny because I sit in and I listen to them and I listen to like how they think about the game and what they do and just their ideas and how where they're at as far as what their knowledge is of the game and stuff is like, and how they got there is really interesting because some of the guys don't even like really follow the highest levels of play. For them, they play this with their friends. These are their friends and they're having a good time. That's it. You know, like, hey, it might sound crazy, but maybe like one or two of them actually watched CCL, for example, you know, in any serious capacity. So, you know, when we're sitting in scrims and I offer a suggestion, like, hey, maybe do this, they're like, oh, well, we thought it was because of this. They're like, think about it like this. And they're like, oh, wow, that makes sense. I'm like, yeah, actually at the higher levels of play, they do this because this, and this. And they see them and hear them learning and becoming more like, oh, engaged with what's going on. They're like, oh, okay, cool. Now they're more excited to try it out in the next game. And you kind of see the spark, the spark for the love of the game kind of ignite there a little bit. It's been cool. They're a good group. A good group of guys. They're super chill as well. No tilt. I think the only one that tilts is me watching sometimes. No, but they're cool. And they like to play some weird stuff from time to time.
Yeah, actually, that Medivh band coming out, I'm not really that surprised because I've seen this team before when they were Bronze 6 running Stitches Medivh comps. So they're just looking to kidnap people. This is one of those maps where Stitches can actually work sometimes. You got all of these turn-in points to look for some of those hook structures are always very close by because it's a small map to kind of disappear to once you gorge someone. So I'm not necessarily too surprised to see that Medivh taken away if Bred Ducks have done any research at all on WildHeart Zeta. I don't know if that's still a comp they want to run, but I know that these players have been playing together for a long time, and it probably wouldn't be a big deal for them to pull something out of their back pocket that they've practiced before.
Yeah. Already on the wave clear train.
Woo-hoo!
We got the Johanna and the
Choo-choo!
Lunara. Yeah, really nice there. The Johanna, excellent pickup here for this map for sure. The Lunara, I like some vision control, kind of helping the Johanna keep eyes of the lanes of the rotations because Johanna's probably going to be in the lanes doing a lot of the wave clear. So then you pick up the Wisp to help augment that. I'm gonna give you a little sauce here. Have you noticed WildHeart on the CCL matches during the playoffs and finals kind of up their priority on the Lunara? We hadn't been seeing Lunara a whole lot. And we started picking it because the Wisp provided a bunch of vision control that allowed Haben to be more aggressive or to be just as aggressive as he wants to in a safer capacity. Because now all the bushes that he wants to step into have already been checked by the Wisp. And if he can't step into a lane too early enough, at least there's the Wisp to kind of to cover that angle. We can catch them walking into a bush. We can make the strategic decision to go move somewhere else. That was just some nice little tidbit there, a little extra credit for you guys. And it worked out. It got us to Game 7.
Blaze Stukov locked in here. I want to talk a little bit about that Tychus pickup, though, from the side of Bred Ducks. I'm not super loving it. The Johanna was already showing he's going to be blinded when he maybe wants to pump out damage. Like, the only reason his wave clear is The only reason I can see kind of picking him up is for the potential of sieging in with an Odin and your Webweaver phases. But what's your thoughts, Goon?
Yeah, it's also probably there to harass the offlaner. But the offlaner's a Blaze. So Leoric and Tychus are going to run down to Secret on the bottom lane. And try to gank him with his percentage-based damage. But he's got oils. He's got jet propulsion. If anything, all it does is kind of just makes him... You bring Tychus away from the 4-man, slows down your wave clear. You got a Murden. You've only got a Sylvanas. You create pressure onto a hero that doesn't care about it, and then when you're trying to rotate back up, you're probably going to run into things like Lunara and Stukov and Johanna that aren't going to really let you play the game. You're going to lose so much more everywhere else on the map, theoretically. That harassing the bot lane doesn't matter.
Now, this is a lot of wave clear, but it's also a lot of just overtime damage that Lunara and Gul'dan can pump out. Do you think they're going to have an issue securing kills? Maybe people walking away with just a ton of damage stacked up on their bars, but not actually finishing them off?
Maybe, but then the question is, like, does that really matter? Like, if the enemy team isn't anywhere near you after a fight, if they have to retreat, if they have to back off and hearth and go do whatever, isn't that a win?
Yeah.
Obviously, maybe the game is a little bit slower because you
was-
can't siege up right away, but
Yeah, I was gonna say, in the early game, it's just as good as getting a kill if they have to hearth back to base. It takes the same amount of time, really. They just lose that little bit of XP. I will say, Lunara, since she got her last rework, actually puts out some really good bursty damage if we're seeing Slug talent into a full Q build, which is typically what we see out of Lunara's these days anyway. So let's go ahead. We'll get into the game here. Game number 2 of this best of 3 series between WildHeart Zeta and Bread Greater Than Ducks.
much better draft coming out here from the Zetas, I will say. So not bad, not bad. I do Bread Ducks. Bread Ducks. I think their draft is interesting. I want to see how it works out against them in the bottom lane. Again, if that Blaze was like Hogger or something, maybe this looks a little bit different. If it was like a Sonya, definitely looks a lot different. But it's Blaze. I think if Secret is at least using half of his, left side of his brain, he'll be okay. The right side. We got the corruption. Echoes of corruption coming out. Echo corruption.
Oh yeah, look, 3 stacks already.
Oh.
We should, if we're just seeing both these teams do your classic, solo lane and bottom, rotate between mid and top, WildHeart Zeta should be able to clear these lanes pretty damn quick. They got the Joe, they got the Gul'dan, they got the Lunara. That's going to leave Bread Ducks a little bit behind on these rotations, especially before 4 when Sylvanas kicks up whatever she wants to go with, the possession or just the blow up on the minions after they die. So, but she doesn't really start.
That? Did you see that right there, by the way? Johanna was like late on the, didn't even rotate, but didn't have to. She was just messing with Aragonis Muradin. Gul'dan and Lunara were just able to clear the wave instantly. Muradin was too busy with Johanna. There's nothing that Kira needs to worry about. Now, there you go. Now they look.
Wow, this is some nice damage onto Danny. Not going to get rooted and actually down in bottom lane. First blood found here. Oh, look at that damage on Monday. He's so low.
Yeah.
He should live. He had a sliver there, yeah. Down to 24 health, but he'll live.
Yeah, there was a little skirmish happening down there. Both teams decided to test their luck there and see who can come out on top. Ooh, beautiful. Ooh, Lunara actually kills Leoric there. This is actually a terrifyingly disastrous lane for Leoric to be in. If this is how it's going to be. You can honestly just park Lunara down here against Leoric, and with this, keep Blaze to 4 minutes.
There's nothing more annoying than some range poke damage in your solo lane. Danny's taking a ton of damage, though, and he's already used that Iron Skin. We're going to see Johanna fall in mid. Kira needing to back off. Slug Hunter's rotating up, trying to look for the return kill, but they need to be careful. They've already lost a lot off their health bars. There's not much more they can do here.
Yeah, I don't understand why. I don't know why Johanna is never seems to have blind up. I don't know if he's using that to clear the waves. He doesn't have to. He could just condemn.
He doesn't even have to condemn with Gul'dan and Lunara.
Right. If you do condemn, it's W, a Q, and the wave is cleared. But
yeah, he is blinding the wave.
He's using the blind on the wave, which then he doesn't have against the Tychus. So he needs to be cognizant of that.
We have the Bruiser pickup here for Bread Ducks. That's going to be coming down mid lane. See how quick their wave clear can be with a Bruiser camp now to help them out. In the meantime, though, instead of focusing on clearing their camp, they're going to grab theirs and wait for that camp to collapse under the wall. They're pretty quick grabbing it on the side of WildHeart Zeta. Slug Hunter trying to put out some damage to clear up what's left of Bread Ducks camp. I'm interested to see if they're going to look to try and do some sieging in mid themselves with their bruiser camp. Or they're just going to go back to the rotations here. Continue to pick up gems, catch the soak on the map. Looks like they are going to try for some siege. We got Murden jumping in onto the back line. Some nice damage being pumped out there by both Lunara and Gul'dan. That Shaman still living. There we go. Finally falls off. The spell armor down. Danny pulling the condemn. Silence dropped on the ground. Danny rooted and nowhere left to go. He will fall.
You got 2 blinds. You gotta have one of them for. Gotta have one of them up. Again, I think we're just slamming the buttons on the structures.
Yeah.
But it's okay though. I mean, you live and you learn. Still relatively close in XP. Zetas do have more gems turned in. Let's see if the bread ducks
Not
decide to
anymore.
turn some in.
At least trying to turn in here. 41 to 41.
The ferret can sneak in a turn. Or Kira. We'll like to see one of them turn in. They're looking for pig. Just turn in. Like, is anybody calling this? Okay, there we go. I mean, both teams. Both teams, you know?
Yeah. Kira's going for the turn and attempt once more. Nice, there we go.
Nice job.
Some nice damage out onto Murd in there as well. Kenny stepping forward though. Shreds through Lunara's health. And Ferret ready to heal him up on that Stukov. We got Web Weaver secured here for WildHeart Zeta. We'll see what they can do with it. They have some pressure to clear up in bottom lane at the same time though from Bread Ducks. They were able to get out those Siege Giants.
Nice, nice. I like when those Siege Giants come out. It makes my heart sing. Nice little siege coming out here from the Zeta zone. Gul'dan, Lunara, Danny looking to zone out Murden just a little bit. Just put some, just making him think about his life there just a little bit. You know, what do I want to do here? Good damage on his mid fort. And this Web Weaver's still very healthy actually.
I'd like to see Danny waiting to use his abilities for a purpose. We're seeing basically just condemn on cooldown, blind on cooldown.
Yeah.
It is over for now.
Play some League. That'll get you to use your abilities. On purpose. I do the same thing though. I do the same thing. That's probably because I'm a dirty ARAM player, so I do nothing but use my abilities off CD for 20 minutes.
Maybe he's just used to like WoW raiding. He just wants to cycle through his abilities on cooldown, max up time on everything.
True. Level 10s though. What are we looking at here? Ooh, a turn in as well.
I'll see Bread Ducks walking away with their first Web Weaver phase. Level 10s on the side of Bread Ducks. We got the Entomb, the Odin, Avatar, Murden, Light Bomb, and Wailing Arrow. What's going on with the Zetas, Goon?
We got the massive shove bunker. We're, I mean, Kira's still thinking about what all he wants to go with. We got the Thornwood Vine and then a falling sword. What do you think about this falling sword? Actually, hold that thought. A little skirmish happening here. And the Odin.
All right. I think they're going to be lacking some engage with Falling Sword here. Kira is going to go down. Here's the Light Bomb coming out. We see the Falling Sword used because of that threat of Light Bomb, but Barrett was going to be just fine there. Odin's still sieging down a mid. The Web Weaver will fall, though. We're seeing Bread Ducks trying to get something out of this Web Weaver phase. Bottom fort will go down. So fort for a fort right now. They still have pressure both in top and bottom right now in Bread Duck's favor.
I like this move for the bot side. Open up that part of the map for your offlaner, and then rotate up mid to open up the map even more. Now the boss is going to be still kind of even. Oh, nice little Entomb coming out. Beautiful Horrify underneath the fort. I don't think Kara is going to get away. He does, actually. Wow, nice job. 43 gems on Brown Bottle. Slug Hunter coming down from the top side. Looking to put down some more damage and create a little pressure, but I'm pretty sure that the members of Bread Ducks are going to be able to walk away easy peasy.
Okay, so back to the falling sword conversation. You're looking at, you're looking at the Entomb, which I guess if you get to level 20, it'll be good to have falling sword because there's a potential of buried alive being picked up. But you're still stuck in the Entomb, even if you are getting the unstoppable from the falling sword. You're still stuck in an Entomb. It's not really going to do anything into that. It maybe will help with the light bomb, wailing arrow stuff, but.
Yeah.
I would have much preferred to see a Blessed Shield for a little bit of engage on the side of WildHeart Zeta. I'm just missing deaths because I'm on a tangent. We're gonna see plays fall there. Yeah, I just think that without it, you're looking at like raw jet propulsions from Blaze for engages, or potentially a really good Horrify. But that also means Gul'dan has to step up into the Ducks to find these Horrifies too. It's not an engage I would necessarily want to be relying on.
Yeah. No, that's true. Yeah, I was thinking maybe like, the falling sword, like you said, maybe it's more for the light bomb and the wailing arrow. Maybe if somebody is stuck in an Entomb, at least you've got time to cast other abilities like the bunker or the horrified appeal. But yeah, I think you're right.
There's the Leo going in for the Entomb. Massive shove onto Murid, and Leo taking a ton of damage. Going to be able to walk away. Webweaver here coming in with a bruiser cam from the side of Bread Ducks. We're seeing WildHeart Zeta back away behind the keep of mid. The wall of mid keep.
Yeah, top four is going to end up going down here. Nice little wave there. And I like this rotation from the Bread Ducks using this massive wave to create pressure on this bottom keep.
Let's engage onto Secret. He's going to go ahead and use that jet propulsion to get away. He does have bunker up and available if he needs to use it. We're going to see the Sylvanas Black Arrow shutting down the keep for a moment. The Webweaver pretty much cleared up, and Bread Duck starting the retreat through bottom lane.
Let's see if they go for the boss. They'll go for the bot boss here, just like I said. 79 gems available for the side of Zetas. They'll probably look to stabilize their waves a little bit and then turn in. That being said, though, if they wait too much, if they wait too long, this allows an opportunity for the Bread Ducks to maybe go for the boss, especially with this bot siege camp applying some pressure.
Yeah, I love the siege camp pickup. Weren't necessarily worried about WildHeart Zeta rushing a boss while you did a siege camp. There's too much pressure in their lanes to clean up at the moment. They need to kind of push those back out. But now they have a lot of pressure in their bottom lane and making the boss. Ooh, nice pick there on a Mundane Zebra.
No blessed shield here for a little follow-up engage. That's what you were talking about earlier.
Look, this is space created though. WildHeart Zeta's looking for their turn in. Their lanes aren't in the best state, but it's not too bad. Top's about midpoint, mid is about at midpoint. It could be worse. That bottom lane definitely not ideal. We'll see Zeta's secure another Webweaver phase here. All in all, it could be a close game after this series. They are down all their forts right now, but with the Webweaver phase coming in WildHeart Zeta's favor, they could even out the map if they're lucky.
Yeah. They could take a little fight here if they wanted to pre-16, but they're very close. They're very close to 16, and I think they're going to be smart here to wait it out, get 16, and then look to get really aggressive and find those picks. That being said, the Bread Ducks are very close to 16 themselves. They should get it naturally here by clearing this wave. Get aggressive. Oh, you can't though. You don't have to bless the shield. It feels bad. But I mean, you can get a jet propulsion. You get a nice little root. Barret though, slowing down Muradin in the silence. No Dwarf Toss or Avatar needed to be used there. I would like to see them siege up here with the Gul'dan, with the Lunara. Throw out these blinds on the Candies, Tychus. They're the pings coming out, getting some pressure done to him. Nice job. Zeta's doing a good job. Falling Sword being used. I thought the Wailing Arrow would come out right after that. That was spooky. That was very, very spooky.
They don't have a Webweaver here anymore, but Leo has had to split off. They have pressure building in mid for Bread Ducks to deal with. There's a Kata in mid pushing onto this keep wall. Nice silence there. Ellie using the pull on Anduin to keep Muradin alive for the time being. Little bit of damage onto top fort. Quite a bit of damage onto that bottom fort. Not quite evening out the map, but it's pretty close. Experience pretty darn close as well.
Oh, this overcommittal to the bot side means that the Bread Ducks make a move for that boss.
They have turn-in up and available right now on the side of WildHeart Zeta. You could just see a trade out. Okay, you get boss, but we get turn in. Everybody gets to free clear their lanes, and we're back to dancing around each other on the map.
Great shot calling coming out from the Bread Ducks there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I hate trading a web weaver phase for clearing a boss. It feels bad.
Never feels good. Never feels good. Like you can let it go now, and you can go do something else.
Yeah.
Like this thing dies to
Towers.
I see this happen way too often, where teams overcommit to the boss instead of letting what natural defenses you have available dealing with it. So if you have a full wall, full fort, maybe you got a nice thick wave there, you can just get it to half health and then leave. Let it die.
They are going to get top forward out of this. They have eyes right now on Sylvanas, Leoric, and bottom. They know it's safe for them to push in here. So they get that. They even out the map now, and they're going to push in for top keep damage as well. At least this wall. Odin popped on Tychus is going to make this a much more difficult task, though. I would have loved to see that positioning on Murda. I just want him hanging over here, ready to flank on the retreat if he can find it, but... Web Weaver's cleared out.
Yep. Big ult was used there. Odin is down. Would like to see, you know, a little bit more aggression potentially from the Zetas. Use the Horrify, use the Falling Sword, you know, in some of these chokes. Understanding what heroics are not available on the opponent's side. Yeah, try something out here.
I would have liked to seen them also rush the Siege Giants first over their Bruiser camp. We had Bread Ducks cleaning up their lane still, and wouldn't have been able to come down and contest that if they showed up. Instead, a trade out for the Bruiser camp. Some of those gems able to be turned in by Bread Ducks. 34 of the 60 needed. A little bit of damage going out onto Muradin. A lot of damage going out onto Muradin. But El Arena keeping him healed up.
Echo Corruption complete there. We see a little skirmish happening. Get a little, you know, clear this up. Get this. You got to posture a little aggressively. So here's the problem. They got those camps out. They give the turn in. And now they get to siege up and clear up this bottom siege camp for free. If you create enough pressure to where you force them away from the bot side, maybe they turn on the top side, that bottom camp clears the Web Weaver out by itself. But now you kind of gave up that advantage that is the siege giant camp. You want to maximize the amount of pressure your assets get. You don't want to just get a camp and like, okay, that's it. Like that's the end of it. Like think about what it is and try to extract as much value as possible from it.
And those Giants did push out bottom lane a little bit. It's causing Sylvanas to lag behind her team here as they push in through top. But ultimately, they still have the level 28 talent tier advantage on the side of Bread Ducks. We're going to see Odin popped for even more siege potential. And Sylvanas is actually just focusing on getting these other Web Weavers on to keep structures right now.
Yeah, defending this is tough. Like, there's like no threat really. Level 20s are online for Bread Ducks, but even then, even if it is, you know, an even fight, like I said, there's no threat. They can step up, not be afraid of much.
And they've already used a couple of those big level 20s anyway, and Tomb down for another 30 seconds. Odin falling off right now. There's the Horrify, beautiful, but the pull from El Arena keep Brown Ball alive. She's gonna get a second stack on that level 4 quest, sitting at 2 right now. Dang, she's just as good as CCL players with that quest.
You know what? With that being said, she's better than most of them because they didn't even get that many stacks. Well played there. Actually, I want to call out Ferret real quick. He threw out a silence deep past the Sylvanas, hoping to be able to catch the Anduin to silence, so that way the pull wouldn't come out. Unfortunately, it's just a little too far out of range. That was good luck. Those are the heads-up plays that you want to see support players doing.
Ooh, jet propulsion there onto Muradin. Secret has nowhere left to go, and he is locked down, getting shredded through. Bunker forced out. We got the nice massive shove on Leo to save the Entomb member, and Secret actually able to live for the time being. We're going to see WildHeart Zeta trying to turn around and get some damage out onto Bread Ducks, but that was nice play coming out from Ferret there.
Very nice play, yeah. Broke out of the silence and dropped a Q. There's a falling sword coming out there. Gotta watch out with the counter entomb. It is down for 20 seconds. All right.
Odin, though, with the level 20 big red button, is a hell of a sieging beast onto this mid keep right now. You have Horrify up in just a moment. I don't know if they're going to look to make any plays off of that again if Bread Ducks stick around. And looking at the turn-ins, you know, both teams pretty close. Pretty, go ahead.
No, for as much time as the Bread Ducks have been spending in these lanes and
Yeah.
keep abilities, these keeps are still up.
Yeah.
And the map is still pretty even.
They've popped an Odin in top lane. They popped an Odin in mid lane, both with level 20s online, and both those keeps are still standing. Danny trying to turn in 22 of his gems in top, interrupted by Murden. We got the bruiser camps picked up for both teams, but Bread Ducks were able to get out that siege giant camp in bottom as well. Boss is in play right now, back up and available for these teams if they want to make a play for it. This is...
All it takes is one button from one of these teams, you know? Uh-oh.
Both these teams just a few gems off of having turned in as well. This is
got it.
Oh, there we go.
I like this. I like this. See how much value you can probably get from this camp. Gets cleared up. All right, so now you back off and you turn in.
Yep.
Yeah. Nice.
WildHeart Zeta still has to worry about clearing that bottom lane, so if they step up to try and contest this turn in, they're taking a 5v4. We're just going to see Bread Ducks get their turn in, and their lanes are in a real nice spot for this turn in as well. Bottom pushed in, mid pushed in, top right now being worked on by Leoric. That's going to be spawning pretty close in on the side of WildHeart Zeta as well. Nice engage there from Murden. He jumps over the wall. We're going to see the falling sword out, though. Very well played. Danny staying alive. That buried alive. That buried alive. You don't have your unstoppable. You're not Iron Skinny. It can be scary.
Yeah, well played there. The wave clear here from the Zetas is pretty substantial. Maybe they can clear this up without losing too much. Would like to see Secret kind of being a little bit more threatening here, getting off the Murden and maybe looking to pressure the backline a little bit. There were so many ults that were used there. Like Blaze could step up and actually pose a threat, but is not really doing that. Actually giving up mid in favor of clearing the bot side, even though that wave is pushed out far enough. Now here we see the Zetas looking to get aggressive, and Secret, oh, nice Horrify, but Elrena using the Leap of Faith to keep Aragonis nice and safe. There's the entomb, it's up. There's a falling sword, nice job. They get to kill the Leoric, the light bomb doesn't pop.
Kenny getting incredibly low here as well. We're going to see the second pull used, which means Murden has nothing left to save him. And they're going to see both frontliners down on the side of Bread Ducks. The remaining members running away here. Wow. Whew, that was a lot of damage onto Ellie there.
A lot of damage. 2-for-1 trade.
Webweavers.
And,
I'm just going to turn on available. Webweaver is available for the side of WildHeart Zeta if they want to look for that. But they do, it looks like they want to get their lanes in a little bit of a better state here. Gonna, 15 seconds with a little bit of cheating death potential on Leoric, but a 30-second death timer left on Murden. So they have a bit of time to play with before they're on equal numbers once again. We're going to see Slug dropping in 48 of the 65 gems needed in top. And Bread Ducks going for that bottom siege camp once again.
People are so allergic to turning in when they have an opportunity. They're like walking around like, what can I do on the map? Just turn in. Just turn in. There we go. But Jazzy, look at the map. What do we see? What do we see?
Yeah, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, lanes are pushed in. You got that siege giant in bottom as well, so that's all these web weavers for the most part spawning pretty far back for WildHeart Zeta. It's gonna be pretty hard for them to get any value out of these web weavers at this point.
I will say though, they got 3 keeps still up.
That's
Bread Ducks have sieged up how many times?
The health on those in the mid and bottom is just hilariously low.
They're still up, and there's no Catus. You know? And there's a pretty good opportunity here for the Zetas to find their own keeps in return.
Mm-hmm. See if they're able to pump out enough damage to do just that.
Oh,
Leo
sniffing that out.
Leo is able to clear out that bottom web weaver, so it's just mid and top pressure onto these keeps. I think Leo's even going to try and secure that keep in bottom as well. He has shows no signs of backing off out of that bottom lane.
If you're Zeta, you stay here. If you're Zeta, you stay here.
Ooh.
Oh, beautiful damage. 2 keeps.
Leo didn't even get the bottom keep. He hung out down there so long, and he didn't even get the bottom keep.
He was worried about the end. He was worried about them ending the game. It's a gamble, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Win! Don't lose a wisp! Oh, he lost. They're on the bus!
They know, yeah.
It's bait. No, they see Sylvanas in the lane. They know. As soon as Sylvanas shows somewhere else, yep, there we go.
I think you just make this play now. You forced out your bruiser camp. They didn't start the boss. They're going to look for Murden.
No, you saw Slug running through the boss, and the rest of his team was turning in gems that don't give a web weaver face.
Yeah.
Now they want to turn in.
They had this window of opportunity where they could have potentially just ripped that boss. There was a lot of pressure, both in top lane and mid lane on Duck's side of the map, that they would have had to deal with. Otherwise, Core's being threatened by a bruiser camp and Katas in that top lane. But unfortunately, not what was in mind for WildHeart Zeta. They're just gonna dance around once again. But Tomb of the Spider Queen, just this map, you get to these stalemates and it could go 30+ minutes long.
You can see, oh, they better split up. There's gonna be an Tomb here potentially. Okay. This is not, you don't want to give this up for free here if you're Zetas. Don't give this up for free.
And Tomb onto Danny. He's trying to walk out of it, but not able to get out. With the silence on there, without his iron skin popped, he's stuck and will go down. They're looking for more.
They can. The main source of defense is down. We see the Bolt of the Storm coming out from the Sylvanas. Backing up. Nice jet propulsion there on the Mundane Zebra. Gets the pull from Elrena. There should be one more. Beautiful, massive, horrified coming out from Gul'dan. Huge damage being pumped on the Sylvanas. One goes down. Leoric really low, but Elrena's working and trying to keep him alive. He ends up dying, but so does Blaze. No bunker available. No, oh my god, 30 seconds before Falling Sword is even there. Ferret's trying to get out of there as much as he can. Oh my god, does he live? He doesn't.
Look at the core. Look at the core of Bread Ducks right now.
Oh,
WildHeart Zeta just needs to keep him here, and those Katas in top could threaten to end the game. 49% and falling. They get the pick on a Murd, and they're chasing Ellie and Canny. They just need to stick on him a little bit longer. He's trying to mount and run back. Ellie will go down here, and those Katas cleared off the core. Only 24% left on Bread Duck's core right now. Oh my goodness.
Coming out. You gotta run, baby. Run it all the way down to the core. What a beautiful little defense, and actually a really cool fight to see there from both teams. And the catapult, that siege pressure. Oh my god, it's the reverse of the WildHeart CCL ending.
There's poison damage starting to stack up on this core with Gul'dan and Lunara. Hey, you know what? We're talking about, will this poison damage secure kills, or will they be able to get through it? But you can't take overtime damage off your core. WildHeart Zeta showing a little bit of life there, bringing back and winning game number 2. We're going to be seeing a game 3. But first, let's take a look at this match summary.
9 kills to 11 coming out.
Chat says they feel like they've been seeing a lot of Winions recently.
Yeah, Winions are giga OP, man. Giga OP. Dang.
Look at that damage. 105k on Tychus, 104 on Lunara.
Very close. Very close. Even the siege damage. Damn.
Wow, 9 to 11 in kills. This is a very, very back and forth game. Could have gone either way, but WildHeart putting up a great defense on core to turn that back around, stop those Hearse, let those Katas pump in that damage onto the core of Bread Ducks.
Yeah,
and then racing it down. That was fun.
that was pretty fun. That entomb there onto the Johanna was a great way to start that fight. You saw
Mm-hmm.
Lunara. Actually, Lunara went to go cast Abolish Magic, but the thing is, the way that the way that the Buried Alive works, it's like constant ticking. So you only get like one frame of unstoppable of not being of getting your silenced removed, but it's
Mm-hmm.
just applied instantly, pretty much. There's no way in hell that Danny is able to just be spamming his trait and pop it and then falling sword out of there. But that was a good look from Ending Zebra catching Johanna there. If you can do
Mm-hmm.
that in the late game, it's brutal. But well played for sure by the Zetas. 4v5, able to defend that core push, picking off Sylvanas first, and then a lot of that poison damage. There's so much damage coming out. Anduin is like working overtime.
Mm-hmm.
Elrena's fingers on fire trying to keep everybody alive. And you lost to Leoric, who's also a big part of your team's sustain. He went
Yeah.
with the Wraith Walk build, so you're looking to reduce a bunch of damage, which reduces the amount of damage the poison is doing, which keeps your team alive, healthier. But he went down early too, so that was a good defense.
That was a fun match.
Yeah, it was. That was great.
We'll
That
see.
Horrify was disgusting, by the way. 4 people got caught on that thing.
Yeah, yeah, it was huge. There were some great plays, I think, from pretty much everyone at certain points in this match. It was fun to see great pulls coming out from El Arena. We had some, nice entombs, nice engages on the flanks from the Muradin. We had some nice falling swords to help out and mostly help Danny out of entombs until
Yeah,
20.
yeah.
But no, it was fun. It was very fun. Pop back on over to Goon and I. And we got the next lobby on the horizon, next match on the horizon for you. Where are you hoping we're going? Do you already know? Are you in here? No,
I
you're
am
not.
not.
Okay,
I'm
where
not.
are you hoping we're going without knowing?
Battlefield of Eternity.
I wish. That's my favorite map.
Oh,
Uh,
Dragonshire.
yeah, we are headed to Dragonshire. This is a map pick once again from the side of WildHeart Zeta. Boom, we'll pop on over and look at those maps now in case you're just tuning in and missed the first couple games. Game number 1 was played on Braxis Holdout. That was picked by WildHeart Zeta. Ooh, let me update the score too. But they ended up losing that one. Bread Ducks taking the first game in the series. But game 2, we went to Tomb of the Spider Queen. Very back and forth, could have gone either way, but ultimately WildHeart Zeta able to hold out there and take the win to bring us to a game number 3 on Dragonshire. Let's get into this draft.
Haven's funny. Message me right now. He said, "Really Wild Heart team, great memory and happy."
Good.
That's awesome.
Our team was awesome this season. All of the guys are great to work with. It was really cool to see like IB come in and just fit so well in with the team dynamic and bring more communication. It was just good. It was a good season.
It was great. I had a good time. And they had a good time too. That's what's most important. They had a good time. Everyone seems to be in really good spirits, and just happy that they can chill out now for the rest of the summer.
Yeah. We got the Maiev Joanna band from the side of Bread Ducks. WildHeart Zeta taking away the Sylvanas. See if who they prioritize next. That Lunara Junkrat. Good things for kind of keeping vision, anchoring in that bottom lane. They're going to take the Junkrat away. We'll see what these teams want now.
So we see the band, the Johanna band, probably targeting Danny. We see the Sylvanas band probably targeting Brown Bala. Maybe not even targeting the players specifically, but targeting the way both teams are drafting right now. And then you got your I don't want to play against this hero band, the Junkrat, the Maiev. First pick Hogger coming out from Monday and Zebra. It's up and available. He'll take it.
Usually you see the trade out when Hogger Blaze are left up between the two. It's actually going to be the Rexar. This is another map where point control is important in your offlaner. Rexar, you can put Misha on the point, hold the point down, and also be catching Soak in the lane. The other your opponent has to decide, do they want to try and get that Soak or try and contest that point? So, yeah. What's the Hogger Rexar matchup look like?
Hogger Rexar matchup. Well, I mean, I think it's gonna be skill dependent, like player
Mm-hmm.
player dependent. The wave clear would favor Hogger. He can clear the waves much faster. He just can't get stunned before he starts spinning and take
Yeah.
that free damage. And then Rexar, as long as his positioning is okay, shouldn't really be too much of a threat from Hogger. And it's just jostling over who clears a wave when faster, who gets onto the point faster, who manages their waves a little bit better. Do you have your teammates able to help you on these rotations?
Mm-hmm. All right, we're gonna see the Muradin ban from Bread Ducks, WildHeart Zeta taking away the Diablo. They're locking in that Anubrak. I like this pickup here. Anubrak's one of those heroes that does a very decent job at anchoring the bush between mid and bottom. Has good disengage to get out of there if he gets caught. Feels pretty safe to just kind of sit in there and keep an eye on things. They already banned out some of the other, well, specifically Muradin is also great at that. And you have 2 other tanks banned out in this draft. So a little bit of a tank choke happening here. We'll see what Bread Ducks wants to go for.
Getting Genji.
A great destiny.
Okay. Last pick, Kira. Wonder what it's going to be here. Lots of squishy targets, generally speaking, from both sides. Outside of the variant, outside of the Anubarak. But,
Here we go.
Chromie,
again.
okay. Interesting. So you've got the bot lane anchor that is Chromie, potentially into the bot lane anchor that is probably going to be Hanzo.
Yep.
Now, who's going to break away to take the camps on the side of Breadman? It's going to be, I'm sorry, Breadman. Bread Ducks is going to be Hogger, which means someone needs to rotate up to the top side to cover the soak, which is probably going to be Genji, whereas Lucio and Varian kind of hover mid. If you look on the side of Zeta, you've got Greymane that can kind of do everything alone without really giving up too much stuff in the lanes, and Brightwing being able to appear on any part of the map at any time is a nice piece of utility there.
Yeah.
Theoretically speaking, now we have to actually like see how that plays out with the players and stuff. But I like Zeta's draft here a little bit more for
Me
sure.
too.
They're definitely a little bit more flexible on the map.
Yeah.
That being said, there is some high lethality, some pretty high explosive potential with this Hanzo. A lot of individual player expression, skill expression on the side of the Bread Ducks. We'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm liking WildHeart Zeta draft a little bit more. A bit better wave clear, easier camp takers in that Greymane, a better anchor for that Tribush in the Anubrak, better vision with the Chromie. There is that potential, you know, to look for those ganks with Genji in top lane if you can kind of keep off the map and keep out of vision. But even if that does happen, you've got that Brightwing to phase shift in and help the Rexar out. So I think
this Tribush control is going to be insane. Actually, we already see the volleyball.
Wow.
This insane coming out. Oh my god, it's insane.
Yeah, WildHeart just has all the tools that usually lead to success on Dragonshire. Kira and Ferret working on clearing out that bottom lane. We do see Rexar and Hogger up and top. Your solo laners for this map. I think Rexar, the one thing up here that might be a struggle for him, aside of the way clear, he doesn't have as good a camp clear. Wow. Okay, I mean, maybe it's not going to be trouble for him at all if he can just dump a bunch of damage on Mundane Zebra. But he doesn't have the best camp clear, so if we just see Hogger split off to go take that Bruiser camp, we could see him actually get quite a bit of sieging done in this top lane. And Secret's not going to be able to take that camp as quickly. Meanwhile, there's a trade out in bottom on the siege camps. We're just going to see both these teams grabbing their camps.
Look at this. They got one giant kill by the time they finished the entire camp and really did it. I like what I see from Rexar up top, freezing the lane, not even pushing it, forcing some of those minions to die, denying XP for your opponent.
We got Kira acting as that anchor in bottom. Chromie gonna take that channel. There is an attempt to gank Secret, but like we were saying, that phase shift from Brightwing is going to be up to keep him alive on these gank attempts. They're holding on to the Shrine, not quite able to get the DK channeled yet. We do see Bread Ducks rotating into mid for the interrupt. You know,
that was a 3-4 gank attempt from Aragonis. Slug just putting damage out onto everybody here.
Yeah, Greymane does that.
Yeah. What were you gonna say? Sorry.
I was just gonna say you're running a taunt variant comp, but your blow up on the taunt target is not that great. Aragonis getting quite low, but it's gonna be Danny that goes down. Slug getting chased out now as well. You got the resets on Canny. I was a little worried that Genji was gonna be able to finish him off, but no. Still DK up and available to channel here for WildHeart Zeta, but with Bread Ducks getting that pick, they're not gonna be able to step forward to find the channel quite yet. Hogger should be taking back top in just a moment, and we might actually be able to see Bread Ducks look for a channel instead.
And stars, or Shuriken Mastery, sorry. Sharpen Stars is 20.
There's the engage on to Aragonis. And incredibly low. Slug's trying to get in there to finish him off. Ooh, there we go. The kill will be secured by Ferret on the Brightwing.
Ferret did a fantastic job on this Brightwing, actually. Nice job.
Well, Ferret's been making some nice plays all evening.
Yeah, Ferret is a playmaker. Okay? Just in general.
All right, DK up and available here for the side of WildHeart Zeta. They're putting some pressure onto the Ducks. We're going to see Danny start the channel. And this will be the first Dragon Knight secured. See what they can do with it. These early DKs usually don't get too much. But
I mean, your DK burn is also...
yeah, that's what I was about to get to. That definitely helps, though.
Yeah, yeah. That if you can collapse like that, absolutely. Later on, as the game progresses and you have the blink kill, that becomes a little bit harder, for sure. But early on, definitely nice to get those kinds of looks. But yeah, the DK burn is a little meag, to say the least. Looks like they're just gonna opt to just bide their time here. I would like to see Danny use DK to clear the waves with the Flame Breath.
There you go.
There you go. And
A little
should
bit.
be careful here because it's gonna time out. There you go.
Was never yours to keep.
Nice job.
All right, we're pretty much back to lanes here, doing our things. Pretty even on experience. Not too much secured off of that DK. A bit of front wall damage on bottom. A bit of mid, or I think mid wall completely down here. I'll check in a second, but I don't want to miss any kills in bottom.
It's all down. It's all down.
Yeah.
And, yeah. Some structure damage there.
But on all, the game still could go either way. This is not any big advantage off of that first DK. They're still holding on to all their structures. They still have fountains to fall back to reset in these fights and contests over the shrines. This is going to be a close game. Alright, I gotta put my desk into standing mode. Let's hope enough happens in bottom for long enough while I do that.
I think you're gonna say something else. I think when you said, "Okay, I gotta," and you said, "Put my desk." I was like, "Poop."
No, I just need to stand.
I was like, "Whoa, come on now." You don't know all that.
Seeing Slug Hunter and Ferret work on the top bruiser camp here for WildHeart Zeta, getting some extra pressure in top lane. Hogger is also working on his camp. There you go. He's got the spin going.
Another chance to prove yourself worthy.
We're gonna see the next shrines activating in 25 seconds. I'm curious if WildHeart can find some picks in this top lane, as they are sending quite a lot of resources up here. Might just be here to also clear out the bruiser camp, maybe see if they can get a little siege pressure on this top fort. I like this play from Bread, though. They're saying, okay, you're gonna push top, we'll push bottom. The only problem is Greymane does a lot more siege damage in top than a Hanzo is going to do in bottom.
And that's a variant Hanzo into Chromie, like that's
Yeah.
just pain.
If they had any other Siege heroes on their team, it wouldn't be a bad trade. But, ooh, nice engage here. Danny CC'd, nowhere left to go, but the DK gets picked up by WildHeart Zeta in the meantime. See, Bread Ducks commit all their heroes up to top lane to stop that siege, get the Anubrak kill, but in turn, they will lose the DK for it.
Yeah. Gave up the vision to siege up, you know, look for a pick, and then, yeah, it happens.
Slug trying to pressure Mundane Zebra. Not quite enough to finish him off. The DK still working on
Outside.
mid.
Hero slain.
Ooh.
Chromie.
Ventured a little too far out there and got picked off. They ran right past the DK, right behind it. Like, I don't even think the DK saw.
That beast is not my beloved.
Their boars are out. The taunt comes out onto Secret, though. Nice polymorph to shut down the engage, and the cocoon onto Hanzo as well. Secret will be able to walk away, and here's Slug Hunter.
Oh,
He's
go
playing
for throat.
cleanup crew on this gray main, coming down and finishing off the Hanzo. We got Mundane Zebra in the bush here, looking for his opportunity to come in as well. Slug now caught out here by the team. Ferret's trying to get the phase shift on.
Oh, the blink.
Ooh, just enough mana to blink heal out onto a minion. My goodness, that was looking real scary for WildHeart, but they will walk away. It'll be a 1-for-0 in their favor as both teams siege giants. Up and available in just a moment here.
Pretty cool. Pretty cool game so far. Both teams going at it. I wonder when this bot and Bruiser's gonna get taken.
Ooh, look at
Oh,
this
it's the
arrow
arrow.
onto Slug. They're trying.
Oh!
That was nice.
Yeah.
That's a big ult. To see that arrow be popped, that's an engage tool. Down on the
Yeah.
side of Bread Ducks to roll out and basically be, you know, back up to full health now and not even worried.
Was a good look. Was definitely a good look. Danny needs to be cognizant of his positioning. I don't know what he's doing behind these gates. He needs to be in try. He needs to be controlling and at least keeping tabs on the enemy rotations. He's just not there. He has no idea where they are. And they're going to come down here on this bot Bruiser and take this. Nice job. Nice job.
I'd like to see WildHeart finish off this mid fort, but like you said, they haven't really been keeping an eye there. Kira has vision for them now. They haven't been really keeping an eye on where the members of Bread Ducks are, so they couldn't just sprint it down to mid without knowing that they were on bottom, and unfortunately it's a bit too late now. Gonna get caught out. There's the phase shift coming in from Fair to keep Danny alive. Cocoon goes out onto the very end. Slug trying to get some pressure onto the back line. Ellerina getting chunked out by that gray main. Polymorph onto Argonis. And the shockwave use here as well. But both these teams walking away. Everybody still alive for the time being. But WildHeart with the channel up and available on this DK. Nice interrupt there. And oh my goodness,
wow.
he gets into that DK. No interrupt. A kick onto Argonis. Sent right back behind the fort of WildHeart. And deep in enemy territory now. Let's see what they get out of this DK.
What's going on? Are they looking for Varian or not? Oh, I think Rexar's going to die to this. Oh, no. He got caught out. Oh, Varian showed up. Oh, my lord. That's tragic. you
Wow,
guys.
wow.
Oh, my lord. Ferret absolutely bodying this game right now.
Just nice, you know, nice phase shift in, and then
man.
blink
That's
heals to
crazy.
keep Secret alive, and Misha getting a stun on both Aragonis and Mundane Zebra for Secret just to walk away. He hits the fountain, he's back to full health, he's holding it down versus two heroes in top. 16's coming online now for WildHeart Zeta. They're trying to get some counter push in top lane, but they don't have any damage up there to do that.
The Chromie damage almost killing Candy there. Beautiful high five from Elrena to keep the Genji alive and keeping herself safe. We saw I heard the boards coming out. Hogger's actually pretty low up here on his top side. Has a force to go back. Aragonis was deep under the fort trying to find the pick there on a secret. Doesn't find it. Has to leave. But we see Zeta. They got 2 forts. Bottom keep wall. Half of it anyways.
Ooh, arrow coming out.
Oh.
That's just gonna whiff right on by.
I appreciate the look. However, if that arrow hits, what do you do with it?
Exactly. Nobody's close enough to follow up. You're not even close enough to follow up.
Yeah. Pretty good state overall. Still even. XP a little bit an advantage for Zetas. Now I say even. All the forts are still up for Zetas, but I think with the way that Bread Ducks have been playing, they can definitely like blow this game wide open if they find the right pick.
Well, but here's the issue though. Even if they find these picks, what's Genji Hanzo going to do for siege damage? They're not taking structures.
That is true, but you know,
Like they need to find the picks, but they also need to secure a DK to be able to start to open up the map in their favor. They can't just run it down with the heroes they have. It takes way too long to get through these structures. Unless you get like a full team wipe on WildHeart Zeta, then you've maybe created enough space with Hanzo Genji siege damage to get something happening, but I've always said I don't like the Shimada brothers drafted together. You just lack way too much wave clear.
All I heard is I don't like the Shimada brothers. What have they done to you? Oh, the arrow just came up off cooldown right there, actually. Like, just came up right there. He saw the taunt and ripped it.
Engage here onto Genji. There's the cocoon out onto Varian.
Oh, Misha barely missing the stun. They're gonna get the kill on the Misha. Arrow going is polymorph into Slowing Sands. Can't move. Silence! And the damage coming out. Oh, Slug Hunter finds the finish there. No phase shift available. Oh, he fights Canny. Oh my god, the beautiful deflect, actually. Canny. Holy shit, what a gamer. That was cool. That was a lot of stuff happening there.
Mundane Zebra tried to come up on the flank and he found a really nice shockwave onto Ferret, but just not quite enough damage to finish him off. Ferret was so incredibly low while that was all happening, and yeah, unfortunately, not the flank Mundane Zebra was kind of hoping for. It looked good, but the rest of his team on the retreat not able to help him out.
DK time? Question mark. DK time.
The fire comes for you.
What do you want to see happen here? What do we do here? You're driving to DK right now. What are you doing?
I'm probably just going bottom, trying to open that up since that's the lane that has Siege Camp and Bruiser Camp potential pickup for your team here. This is also, you know, Dragonshire is really hard to necessarily end with just the one keep down because of the core anomaly to play around. It doesn't give you much space if you just have the one keep down to kind of avoid it and get that damage on the core. But we'll see. We'll see what Zeta can do with this. They're about to hit their level 20s. Ooh, Slug Hunter caught out a little bit here. Let's see if he can walk away. Nice time trap. Kind of helped out there a little bit, and DK still pushing onto the keep. We do see Varian fall, so the tank down on the side of Bread Ducks, and they are still sieging in. We got 27 seconds left on this DK, but only 6% health. Brown Balla getting incredibly chunked out. There's a cocoon out onto Mundane Zebra. Canny using the deflect on Genji as well. Nice stun out from Misha. Misha will fall, but Danny is going in there trying to look for more. Boars are used here as well, and they are trying to finish this game out. They get the pick on the Hogger and Lucio, and they're on this core. Shields are down. Canny and Brown Balla the only ones left up to defend this core. Slug's committed for the kills, and Ferret is ready to go in with him. And this will be WildHeart Zeta taking game number 3, securing the win in this series with a 2-1. GG's, well played.
Wow, well played. Wow, what a finish. Holy smokes. Slug Hunter said, it's been a long time since I played this here. I want to see if I still got it. Well played. Real quick, El Reina was landing some of the most insane high fives there. It was disgusting. It was absolutely disgusting. Well played. That was a cool finish. We saw the rewind and Uberak, Danny, coming out there right there at the very end. Committed, did his thing, and all of a sudden snaps the rewind. Gets the rest of that follow-up, or that stun lock, that stun chain, and find a couple more kills and end the game. That was a pretty good game.
10-4 in kills here. Take a peek over at the talents. This is just a good series in general. The games are so back and forth. It was a little more entertaining maybe than some of the ones we casted this week.
True. True. Big true. That 30K ACA match was, look, it was wacky, but man, I'm not gonna lie, it was pretty boring. I'm gonna throw it out there.
Well, we'll go
Anyways.
ahead. Why don't we have a little interview with Danny? I'll meet you down in lobby 3 of the NGS channel, and I'll get Danny in there in a second as well.
Sounds good.
All right, he should be joining us here in just a moment. All right, Danny, how you doing tonight?
We're feeling pretty good. We got a little worried after the Braxis murder mystery that we experienced.
So this is the first week of NGS. How much has your team been prepping? How much research did you do into Bread Ducks?
We've been prepping quite a bit. Unfortunately, our other DPS player, there's some storms apparently in Texas, so his power is out. But we've been scrimming and playing in KTR and other games. But yeah, we've been doing a fair amount of scrims twice a week and just being regular guys playing ARAMs.
All right, good. Go ahead.
No, that was a good game. That was awesome to see. Yeah, I was a little spooked out for sure by that Braxis game. What were you guys thinking? What were you guys feeling that game as it was progressing, going into the in the loading screen? What are you guys talking about there?
We were just talking about rotations, and if we ever get an advantage, we can rip the boss. We got kind of destroyed when the hard camp started to push bot side without our Genjis into his top trying to kill the Misha. That game goes much different if we clear out that bottom hard camp prior to the first objective. But yeah, that first map was rough. We lost the bottom for it before the first objective was even popped, and then they just rotated.
It was tough. It was tough. I was like, man, I got a lot of boss control. You can rip it pretty quick with the Genji. You've got the Gus, right? One of the things that I was mentioning on stream during the cast was once that map opens up a little bit, i.e., your structures are down or their structures are down or whatever the case may be. That's one of those maps where you can get a little bit creative with how you approach engages. You don't have to go left to right or right to left depending on what side you're on. You can kind of wrap around with what you have and find an exposed backline. The Chromie, Sylvanas, I can't remember what the other one was. Was it an Anduin? I can't remember. Or
I forget.
On their side?
Yeah.
Chromie. Chromie, are you talking about Brent? Chromie, Sylvanas, Brightwing?
Right. Yeah, Brightwing, the support. Right. But I kind of saw just like both teams just going at each other face to face. I wonder if there was any kind of discussion as to.
Well, so we had the Falstad, which had a hard time clearing out waves. I think the discussion was maybe Gul'dan was a better fit because Falstad had to step up too far to either auto or Q the wave. Right. But it was just a slow burn. Right. But we adjusted. We usually lose the first scrim and then we win the next two or next three. It's our MO to lose the first game and then win the next two.
Yeah, that's true. One step backwards, 3 steps forward.
We should probably log in and play one practice game before the actual.
Speaking of the Gul'dan, we saw it come out on the team with Spider Queen. Tell me a little bit about that game. What was that was another one that was kind of like balls to the wall a little bit. What were the comms like? What was the plan going into that?
Well, towards the end, I was looking at the core and I was like, they're getting WildHearted. Game 7.
Yep. Same exact way. Yep.
But we were just trying to play slow, hit the minions, and then let them come into us. Just trying to be calm. But the comms were good. We were just trying to like play slow. Not mundane. Muradin on Airgon played a really scary Muradin, taking some big flanks. So we were constantly trying to look for him coming around, but hit some pretty good combos at the end and got an advantage, and we just ran down core because the core was sitting at like 30%.
Right. They siege up like 3 or 4 times on you guys on your keeps and didn't actually convert any of those keeps into kills or into destructions at all. Actually, they were all like 1 HP. I'm like, this is going to be a pain in the ass for the Bread Ducks because they weren't able to take that. And a big question I have for that game is the Blessed Shield versus the Falling Sword. Why did you opt Falling Sword over Blessed Shield? Did you consider Blessed? Like, what were your thoughts going?
Well, I don't think for myself. I have somebody else thinking for me. Okay. So that was that conversation. Is it Blessed or is it Shield? But we had the Blessed for, I think, Slug got entombed and the Blessed came out and we turned that fight. So we did get some value on that one fight, but we probably could have ripped the Blessed shield and got some kills onto a term that we didn't get with the Blessed or with the Fallen.
All
I'll
right.
take all the questions, Jazzy. Sorry, go ahead.
No. I think I don't want to keep everyone here for the night. My dinner's almost ready. I'll be honest, I'm the one trying to bail. Sorry, guys. I can smell it.
I want to eat my burrito.
But if you're cool with it, we can wrap it up here. And congrats on the win tonight, Danny. Do you have any shout-outs?
Yeah, shout outs to my team, to Slug for filling in the last 20 minutes, to Whisper, who is a wonderful coach and draft caller, and the guy never shuts up. But thanks to Whisper, and then the rest of the WildHeart family has been super, super helpful keeping us engaged with scrims and all that stuff.
All right. Well, congrats on your first win of the season. Hopefully, we'll see you again soon in some casts and stuff. But good luck the rest of the season, and we're really happy to have you on WildHeart.
Thank you, guys. Good night.
All right.
All right, have a good night, dude.